You got bitten again. Oh.
3.
Oh no.
3 together.
Aw.
Oh no! Oh no, 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 no!
No.
I found it's near you.
Where?
It's on your head.
Oh no, no.
I cannot eat it.
Where'd it go?
And also go back to the business a little bit because that's instead of what we had before, just different.
So I got kicked out of our work from home office. Me and my wife, we've been in the same room for quite some time, but never so intensely. We had to do conference calls almost every day. And for her, being an entrepreneur, it means calls internationally, calls all hours of the day, meetings endlessly on every program you can think of. So I looked for the only space that I can actually go to, and that place is my garage. I plan to make the ultimate studio space, but this garage, it has some problems. Like why you haven't hit the like button, or the subscribe button, or that little bell next to it, so you won't miss any of my videos. I'd appreciate any support you can give me. Bye, Leo. Bye-bye. Bye. So back to garage problems. 2 problems. Number 1, heat.
Upper 70s at the beach. Inland Empire will see highs up there around 90 or so.
Typically in summertime it's about 100 degrees. The garage and the sun, they combine together to create a sauna. Number 2, bugs. I'm talking about specifically mosquitoes. And I really, really hate mosquitoes. Ugh. They would get into this garage even if I tried to just let a bit of cool air come in, and somehow they'd always invade. It sounds impossible, but LA was recently voted by Orkin
Protect your home from pests. Orkin, keeping pests in their place.
as the #1 worst place to live for mosquitoes. They're like silent assassins, always biting, like that ex that wouldn't stop bothering, or that money-hungry relative that just keeps asking how much money you make. According to the LA Times, in 1915, there was an article that said the winged swordsman, or what they mean as mosquitoes, is not to be found in the city. In 1934, the LA Times said, we have no mosquitoes in SoCal, or very darn few of them. In 1989, there are remarkably few mosquitoes. I grew up most of the time in LA without that many mosquitoes, but over time, they've increased in population. So I'm gonna actually try to deal with this heat first and figure out how to cool this place down. So after living around a lot of nice hotels throughout the years, for free too, I discovered something. What I discovered was the Goldilocks living temperature. I found out that it was around 70 to 76 degrees. These holes that used to exist now are generally covered. So I think this generally solves my heat problem. Did you get bitten again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What is going on? My son, my wife, and myself. How is it that LA, known for temperate Mediterranean weather and also lack of mosquitoes over the last century, suddenly become the #1 in the United States? This is actually a whole change in lifestyle in the Los Angeles area, where before you can be outside lounging about in your backyard, in your front porch or apartment balcony and be totally fine, but now it's not even possible. I need to find the source of these mosquitoes, and if I can actually attack this source, shouldn't there be like a government agency that deals with something like this? An agency that I can call to get rid of these mosquitoes?
One eternity later.
What happens when mosquitoes meet with water? They give birth. During my research, I had this discovery. It goes all the way back to 1938.
Disaster, destruction, and death descend on 5 Southern California counties. Tons of water submerged 30,000 square miles of populous beach.
During that year in Los Angeles, there was a major flood that actually ruined and destroyed over 5,000 businesses and killed over 100 people. Surprising, but Los Angeles used to be quite a flood-heavy area. But this particular flood was a tipping point. It was ultimately a catalyst to start a large infrastructure project. This magic project was funded by Los Angeles County and the United States government, built by the Army Corps of Engineers. This great infrastructure project was called the Los Angeles River. You have a central channel of the Los Angeles River and all these smaller ones leading up to it, dumping down into the Pacific Ocean. It's a structure that helped a lot of people in the future generations to come, and it would even help my home if it ever become flooded. But when man touches nature with all these different channels, there's gonna be some unintended side effects. The Los Angeles River and the combination of imported mosquitoes from abroad, add on the heat in my area, and you have a recipe for disaster.
It's pretty noisy here. So this is a watershed.
There was a connection between the LA River, the river part near my home, and the mosquitoes. And I'm not the only one. Even back in the 1950s, this started happening. In a specific part of town of the Los Angeles River, some neighborhoods started complaining that there was a rise in mosquito infestations. So what happened back then was that the LA County vector control was established. Closer to my timeline in the 2000s and 2010s, 2 types of mosquitoes appeared. One of them was the ankle biters, the ones that landed on my leg, which are far more aggressive than the previous mosquitoes of the past. The ones that bite are female, and once they start biting, they'll bite a couple times on your leg in the same area, like drill in 5 times, and then move on to another part of your leg. And they'll use this to eventually give birth. The danger that I face is that this man-made river near my home is becoming a breeding ground because there's pockets of still water as small as a soda cap. They can lay over 1,000 eggs each. And imagine if all those 1,000 were females. Those 1,000 give birth to 1,000 each, and then those 1,000 give birth to another 1,000. That's exponential growth. Within a month, assuming the worst possible scenario, if all these mosquitoes are female, we're going from 100 to 100 million. In places like Africa, where they're dealing with mosquito-driven diseases like malaria, you're seeing these exponential numbers going to the billions, and 500 to 700K die each year, a lot of them children. Bill Gates once called mosquitoes the most dangerous animal in the world. Even professors of universities have spoken about how mosquitoes have changed the fates of empires. The Roman Empire, Alexander the Great's conquest of India. This was not a simple individual incident I was experiencing. Los Angeles has evolved from my mosquito-free childhood, mostly mosquito-free childhood, into one where I'm constantly attacked. It turns out that the specific area that I live near is near these areas on this map, designed by the Army Corps of Engineers, the national government, which essentially means that I'd have to go with a national, federal type of agency to deal with this problem on a larger level. My overall conclusion was I couldn't do anything at a large level. I was really all alone in this process. I had to solve my own problems in the things that I could control, so that's what I did. I think I can make it work. The goal here is to protect myself in a 360-degree sphere. My goal is to get them to the edge of the garage and zap them. 2 old-school mosquito lights. They're going to be placed on top of 2 storage walls that I'm going to be building so that's an elevated height. That way, when they fly towards there, it's going to be away from my legs, away from my ankles. But actually, that's actually not enough, because we're going to have to deal with mosquitoes that end up not flying towards those zappers. During my travels in Southeast Asia a few years ago, I realized that there was actually a natural oil, an essential oil that actually works against mosquitoes. It's citronella, or like the essential oils that you have in spas. natural scent that would fend them away and would create this scent cloud around me. I needed something else. I needed an essential oil diffuser. This would create the 360-degree sphere that would lift these mosquitoes up towards those zappers. It's like in the game Fortnite, but the opposite. Basically, instead of a circle of death closing in on me while I fend off attackers, it's me emanating the smoke of death, pushing them towards a ring of death. This was the plan, and I'm pretty confident, so I'm just gonna go ahead and build out this studio of mine. You know that air conditioner I set up earlier? Well, that's the cherry on top. Mosquitoes actually don't like cold temperatures. They're cold-blooded animals, which means that they can't regulate their bodies. Below 50 degrees, they actually start to die, which is why you don't see as many mosquitoes during winter. And between 60 and 70, towards the Goldilocks hotel temperature that I told you about earlier, well, that keeps them away kind of. So the aircon that I set up earlier isn't just to cool me, it helps to create an overall atmosphere that repels them. But I needed to put a cherry on top, to put the final touch where at any moment's notice, I can make this environment possible. So I made it smart. The diffuser, the lights, and my AC I can turn on just with my voice.
Hey Google, turn on the office AC.
Okay, turning office AC on.
This makes the complete package the Garage Studio Bug Box Killer. Most important question in this whole process, this long journey that I've taken is, did it finally work? Did it work? Did these solutions that I put together work? I've also implemented this technique throughout parts of my house. Because of this, I could finally build out the studio that I wanted. This garage is totally usable, and it also protects my family. My simple garage setup went way beyond what I expected. So if you're looking for more space in your home or in your garage to work out of, consider the tips that I've just given you. In my next video, you'll be able to take a look at what I actually built for my studio. I've only been talking about the environment I had to set up for the studio, but check out the real studio in my next video. Overbuilding once again and see what an overbuilt maximalist studio office looks like. Just like 2020 and 2021, the outbreak has taught me that nothing is the same anymore. The LA that I knew of 20 years ago is no longer.